I'm sorry. I'm sucking cock when I use it in that way. Like, I can't take that out of my vocabulary. My brain just thinks about dudes sucking cock. Like, that's like, it's so divorced from it being like being what is the word?
Party?
Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah, what, like, homophobic or cockphobic or whatever? Derogatory towards, like, cock people? Like, cock sucking. This feels kind of dumb. Chris, we went to, gay people. We were at, I can't even remember. Hold on, like a,
what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the retard rink, that party?
Why were we there? I don't remember.
That was a birthday party. That was
there?
like, I think, gay. His birthday party, because Tay Sunday was there. Gay. Sunday was there.
Gay as shit, dude. Dude was ultra gay. And I think I saw like I saw something adorable happen. Dude sucking cock. But I was like, oh, that's so gay. And then, that dude gave me a look kind of like, gay.
Hey, look, it's a little dead meme.
Let's go.
Hey.
I can do.
Hey.
I just
right.
want to get some nudes.
Welcome to the...
What are yours?
All right, welcome to the... You know what I thought about recently? I thought about, wouldn't it be awesome if we did a whole episode and we all were chewing gum? like the entire... Like, try and make the most unpleasant podcast episode possible.
And see how long, like, do you think anyone would finish it?
I kind of want to know. Like, I want to know. Like,
you gotta sprinkle like really great content in the middle of it.
Yeah. No, it will be like content wise, it will be the best episode of the podcast. It's just you have to suffer through 2 straight hours.
We have the best guest we ever could have imagined, and then we're just chewing gum.
Who would be the best guest though? Who would be like the most like the guest that like? Oh, this is the perfect
there's
one.
the pinnacle, but maybe below the pinnacle because the pinnacle means Keith David means we shut down the podcast. Yeah. So right below,
we'll get Keith David. We'll get Keith David on the podcast, and we'll say, like, listen, I know this is going to sound weird, but we need you to chew gum the entire time. If this piece of gum starts to lose its flavor, swap it out for another piece of gum until we're done, until it's over.
The problem.
I know that's a weird request, but I swear to you, just trust me.
The problem with Big League Chew is that it doesn't last very long.
The flavor's fantastic, but it doesn't last very long.
Yo, have you ever had that? You ever had that
gum.
quench? That quench gum?
Quench? I don't think I've heard of
that.
Yeah,
it's like you get it at like exercise supply stores. Like it's like an electrolyte gum.
So
that
it's
sounds
like salty
dope.
as fuck or whatever.
So it's so good. Like it's delicious and it lasts like a while. Like it was a good like 15 minutes, which is like really abnormal. Like I remember bubble tape used to last me like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Bubble tape. What I would do is I would lick the whole thing. I'd lick it all, and then I would put it back in and let people sell it. Like I'd peel the thing off perfectly, lick the whole tape, roll it back up, and seal it, and let people sell it because I was a little demon.
You're such a shithead.
Disgusting. You just want people to eat your spit. That's
How
all.
the fuck that is? You know how insane that is to pull that off? You stick inside of a bodega. Lick the whole thing and then
You're
roll
such
it
a
back
freak,
up.
man. That's such a freak thing to
And
do.
just watch it. People sell it. I'm licking them now. They're technically licking me.
They're a part of me now.
It's like the fucking symbiote.
Fucking John Carpenter's The Thing, but a little black kid, and now I can make them all transform into dog people or whatever.
Hey, we got to celebrate, man. We got to celebrate that after 3 fucking years, Sweeney has a new mic.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
he's got a mic.
Yeah,
He's
whatever.
He's joined the SM7B club. He's joined
It's about fucking time.
Yeah,
This mic is
dude.
crazy expensive. It better be fucking worth it. If it's not, I'm throwing it through your window, Chris. I know exactly
Well,
where
that's
you
fine.
live.
I'm more than happy to have 2.
Have 2 of them? Yeah.
I'm more than happy to have a backup or just use both to record both corners of my mouth so I get some binaural audio in there.
Ew.
Did you know I bought this mic, Sweeney, I bought this mic probably just a few months into us doing the podcast, like, consistently.
Really?
You know what I thought? Yeah, you know what I thought? I thought, like, oh, this is like my new gig. I should really, put some TLC into it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I was like, I should really.
That's very good for you, man. That's what's up. Man.
I mean, truthfully, I didn't buy this. I was still using.
Yeah. When we first started, we had your mics.
When we first started, we were using those, and those are good mics.
They're not bad mics.
But when you're doing over the internet style stuff, I only got this mic because Colin got it for me. To be honest with you, because Colin was like, "We're doing Sacred Symbols. We're gonna do it from home now. You need one of these," and I was like, "Okay." And then he just sent me one, and I was like, "Okay, good."
Yeah,
I still have those other ones as backups, but
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that mic. I'm gonna hold on to it, but
keep it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got 3 mics now. I got 3 mics. You never know. Actually, I got 4. I
you
I
never
got
know.
5 actually. What the fuck? I just think about like.
I got
I
so
have,
many
like,
microphones for you. Do music,
well,
that's why.
Yeah. So I have So I have some like. I'm not gonna go through them, but yeah,
It's like
they're
when,
all
it's,
for
it's like
different
when I look at.
occasions.
It reminds me of when I look at the guitars, like because I don't have many guitars, but when I come home, like when I come here to New York, and then I see how many guitars I have, I'm like, this is. I have too many guitars for how good I am at them. Like I'm not good enough to justify. I'm not good enough at guitar to justify the amount of guitars I have. I think I'm gonna sell some of them.
Understood.
But
yeah,
You just
I have a
throw 'em away.
$900 guitar, and I'm like, why do I have this?
Yeah.
I couldn't have this.
I don't remember how much my Les Paul was. It was the most expensive guitar I had bought, though.
I imagine.
And I remember being like, yes, I have a Les Paul. And then I did nothing. I did nothing on it. So
Own it. That's it.
I just own it. Dude, I love Les Pauls.
I mean, that's a cool guitar to own. Yeah, I get that. Mine's just it's an intricate guitar, and I'm not. There's absolutely no reason for me to have it. So
Are you talking about the Schecter?
No. I got this fancy ass. I can't even remember the name of it. Some iron something fucking Ibanez that I have. That is has these fucking. I think they're called DeMario fucking pickups that are just things that I don't give a shit about. I was just sold to it because someone in with the band Polyphony? No,
Polyphia.
What the fuck? Polyphia, right? Is that it?
Peripheral?
Yeah.
'Cause I was getting-
Polyphony is the studio that makes Gran Turismo. It's definitely not Polyphony.
I was getting to. There's another band too that's called Periphery that fucked me up, but Polyphia, right? The instrumental band.
Yeah.
One of the guys, not the main guitarist Tim Henson, but one of the other guys, he would always jam on the guitar that I have. And so I was sold that I'm like, yeah, I want that guitar.
Yeah, that guy has a cool guitar. I want that one.
I can't do shit.
You know how to fucking use it.
Somebody just, literally, my boy Chance just emailed me a solo for one of my songs.
The
because
rapper?
That's how much Yeah, Chance the Rapper sent me a guitar solo for one of my death metal songs. Because I can't solo. That's how shitty a guitar I am, that I can't do solos. I have to ask other people. I have to ask Chance the Rapper. To like, hey man, hey Chance the Rapper.
You have to ask fucking Community Chess the Rapper to do your solo for
Chance
it.
the Rapper.
Did
Hey,
you guys?
Chance
Did
the
you guys?
Rapper. I know
you
you're not a
see-
guitarist at all,
Did we talk?
but would you mind hitting a solo for me? Thanks,
guys-
I really
I
appreciate
I
it.
would love to have a fucking rock song, and then it's just like it's got this horrible solo in the middle, and it's just you find out later that just Chance the Rapper did it, and it's like not on key at all. It's just a bunch of fucking bullshit.
I
You're
love
"That's
that
good."
idea.
Fuck, why is he doing this?
I love
And
that
it's like
idea.
someone asked. He's like that nice of a guy. He's like someone asked me to, so I had to help him out.
It's
I did
kind
the
of
best I could.
akin to when Lil Wayne was experimenting with rock. Obviously, other people were producing the music, but then he would sometimes put solos on his shit. Like there's this song I think it's called Prom Queen, if I remember. Jonathan Davis helped produce that song.
I remember that song.
And then at the end of the song, or maybe in the middle, I can't remember, he has a solo.
Queen.
Yeah,
The
prom queen. And
the
with-
shadows are
Okay, shut the
my
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. There's a solo in it, and it's just him taking his thumb and thumbing an electric guitar, and it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's just they just let him do it because it's Lil Wayne, and I'm like, this is incredible that they didn't just like
sucks.
have the fucking like decency to be like,
you
Hey,
gotta stay in
man.
your lane. You know,
Hey,
like at a
man.
certain, it's like
Terrible
you gotta,
era of time, man.
you gotta stay in your lane, man.
That was
Like,
the
you
worst
can't-
era. Of
It's like
human-
what's his face, the basketball player doing baseball. It's like stay.
Oh,
in your
Michel
lane.
Jordan.
Michael,
Michael
Michael,
Michael.
Michael Jordan.
Hold on.
That's,
Into the Jordan verse.
That's Haitian. That's Haitian. What you call it? Michael Jordan. Michael.
Yeah, that's into the Jordan verse.
Into
Michael
the
Jordan.
Jordan
Michael.
verse.
It's-
Why didn't we get that? I want
Into
that
the
movie.
Jordan verse. That'd be better into the Spider Verse. Or get into the Jordan verse, or into the.
yeah, honestly,
What's
Across
another
the
verse
Jordan
that's
verse.
funny? Into the Laszlo verse would be funny. I think.
like Camp Laszlo.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Reggie.
You're insane.
Like a bunch of the elephants?
I haven't thought about Camp Laszlo
That's what
in
I'm
like
saying.
10
I'm like,
years.
how do you even think of that?
I love making fun of the little,
Wait, do you
little
remember
Indian elephant.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
We used to. It was like it's highly offensive, so we won't do it.
It's
But, like, we
extremely
would, like,
disrespectful.
It's extremely disrespectful. But the Indian elephant on that. what was the situation that we had for him?
He owed a lot of people money, and he was begging Laszlo to let him borrow money because he owed a lot of dangerous people money. I want to do the joke so bad, but I know damn well on the extra ammo we'll do it. We'll do it on extra ammo.
We'll do it on extra ammo.
Because that's only on Patreon. But by God, it's one of the funniest fucking things.
I owe so many people so much money, Laszlo.
Laszlo, we don't have no time, Laszlo. We have to do it.
Yeah, we don't have any time, Laszlo. They're at the door, Laszlo.
He just
Oh
owes-
man,
owes
it's just.
He owes mobsters and thugs a lot of money, but he's a kid elephant, and they're coming to get their money from him.
Yo, I love it. Anyway, speaking loosely of
Yeah, the Jordan
Spider-Verse.
verse, yeah.
that's out, huh?
Yeah, fantastic
That's
movie,
out.
man.
Yeah, they did. It was fine. Yeah,
Dare I
Yeah,
say the
yeah.
best
Hello,
Superman I've
this
ever seen in
is
my
fine.
life.
it's fine. I didn't like it as much as Mrs. Doubtfire,
Yeah.
but like it's close.
You know what's crazy?
It's close.
Watch this is crazy. I think the movie's better, but watching Mrs. Doubtfire as a kid was an experience for me. Like seeing that movie as a kid was like the funniest thing ever. I was like, this movie's so funny.
It's actually a sad movie if you really want to be.
It was a
pretty-
funny
it's
movie though.
pretty
It's sad. Don't get me wrong.
It's like an absurdist tragedy.
Yeah, but it's
Almost-
really funny.
Yeah, I mean it is. It is.
Then
But
Matilda.
fucking-
Matilda's
the dinner
not funny
scene.
at all. That movie made me laugh my ass off.
Okay.
Okay.
Did Matilda not make you guys laugh?
No,
I don't think I remember enough.
Didn't.
I don't think I remember enough of Matilda.
The only thing that I honestly really remember Matilda that just stood in my mind was when that big bitch like jumps from the second fucking store, or like she's, you know, like you go up the stairs and you're in the second floor. She jumps from the second floor to like to the bottom and just sticks the landing for. I don't remember why she did it, but it's
In
supposed to be like
Matilda?
she's terrifying. Yeah,
The
I don't know.
the principal.
Was she a principal?
Dude, I
don't
remember fuck all about Matilda. Like I really
remember-
don't.
I read the
all I
book.
know is it's that little girl from Mrs. Doubtfire who's in it. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
She gets like
That's
assaulted
all
or
I know.
something like plenty of times or something like that.
Does she have powers in that
Yes,
movie, or am
she
I
does
making
have
that
powers.
up? Okay,
I
have
read the
completely-
book in school too. That was like one of the first like chapter books I remember reading that wasn't Harry Potter. And I remember reading it and being like,
I
this book is
man.
really cool. And then I remember
It's
like,
actually, disturbing how little I remember of it.
really?
Like, is that movie about an orphan that like?
She's not an orphan. Her parents suck though.
Her parents
I-
hate her,
I-
and then
suck.
they
I thought it was like an orphan at an orphanage who like organizes a rebellion against the teaching staff or something.
No, she
Am I
goes to a
wrong?
really strict school though.
probably something else though.
It's
But
just some
sounds
kid
like a
going to
movie.
school.
Yeah, and it's
Like a
and
border
what's it called?
school?
Her parents
Isn't it
suck.
like some charter school or some shit?
Yeah, and her parents suck, and her teacher ends up adopting her.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember
anything.
much of it either. I just remember little bits and pieces like that.
I
big
remember.
ass-
I remember.
Yeah,
a
I
lot
remember
of it.
about as much of it as I remember of Across the Spider-Verse. Honestly,
That's
it's like
yeah.
a really forgettable.
that movie. Was,
Really
everything's forgettable about that movie. Miles forgettable. That damn
Miles?
Mexican forgettable.
I like
that
those
black
memes
bitch on
going
a
around.
bike forgettable.
Those memes going around of fucking Miguel O'Hara going like, what is it? Like, I have respect for every Spider-Man in here. It's like, what about me? No, you're black.
You're black. It's come on. There's something funny about the fact that Miguel being a Latin Hispanic Spider-Man, but being white. As soon as Miles shows up, who's Latin and black, he's just like, oh man.
It's funnier out of the context of the movie because Hobie and Jessica Drew are there. But aside from that, it is funny.
It is funny. It's like you're black. You're not good.
No, you're black.
What's with all these superheroes with obvious half names that obviously represents like a part of them or something like
it's almost
Miles,
like people have names like that
like
too.
Like a Miles Morales, where it's like, oh, his name could have been fucking Dave Morales, and then you would be like, okay, Dave is just a pretty standard name in America, but Miles, I know a couple of niggas named Miles. If you know what I mean.
Too.
Exactly.
But that's a black person's name.
But see,
well, I just think it's. I think. Why is my fucking
it's,
camera so?
I don't know what happened. There's a ghost in there. That's why.
You just fucking somebody's fucking with their shit, man. They got their penis in front of in the background and it's focusing on that shit.
That would be terrifying. If there was just a figure that came down with just a baseball bat dick, I'd be like, Chris, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry what's about to happen to you, dude.
I mean, these things happen.
Yeah. You got Miguel. You got Miguel O'Hara. What does that tell you? What tells you what type of person that is?
He's a Mexican Irishman.
Yes, exactly.
But that's how people's names work, dude.
Nigga, how many Irish people do you know named Miguel?
Well, he's half Mexican. He's half Mexican.
I'm being
hyperbolic to a degree, but
his superhero name. His superhero name isn't Miguel O'Hara.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You've never read Miguel O'Hara 2099 or whatever.
That's
the fuck?
it. He's not Spider-Man 2099. And when Peter and him meet, he's like, "Are you Spider-Man?" "No, I'm Miguel." Fucking idiot, and he jumps and flies away.
The fuck is a Spider-Man? That sounds gay.
But seriously though, it was super good.
Yeah,
it was very good. I like it a lot. I have to see it again. Because I feel like there's a Hateful Eight thing happening with it, where like I was really like I got to the ending and I was like, that's really fucking disappointing, and I didn't like it.
What like you mean?
It just because it ends. I know that this is like technically because some people were like, I saw some videos of people flipping out in the theater like, what the fuck? I don't think this is a spoiler. The movie does not end. Like, there's no ending in the movie. Like, straight up. I'm not talking about like, and I'm not talking about like there's like a resolution and then a cliffhanger. I mean, straight up, like it doesn't end. Like it's part one of like a movie that's not done yet.
Yeah, and
I wasn't expecting that because I knew the first trailer.
Well, it was announced a long time ago that it was.
It was announced a long time ago as a part one.
Yeah,
but then they never mentioned it again. So
but
I was like, I guess it's not a part one anymore.
Not to the greater. So look, this is the problem that's happening because it's technically not a part one. Technically, it's not. So they don't have to put it in the fucking title like other things we're used to when the Harry Potters or whatever. There's other shit that's like with the blue movies where it has the blue fucking
Avatar. The blue,
like just like there's just like blue stuff and there's like that there's this shit or whatever that's gonna continue and it's never gonna stop or whatever. The Fast and Furious did the same fucking thing. I was prepared for that stupid franchise to end. I'm like, I had fun for 5 movies. It's over. It's not the same. Literally, the exact same thing happened to me with this and Spider-Verse, where I started to be like, "It's really late in the movie."
That's what I thought,
and nothing has resolved.
It's been at least an hour and a half.
And that happened to me in this one, where I'm like, when they made it to the new universe, and spoilers, because obviously they know that it's in.
To the end, when they made it to where they are at the end.
So when they made it, and then I was like, there's more plots being introduced. I was like, what's happening? So I was like, okay, you guys got.
Yeah.
It felt disappointing, right? It almost felt like a cliffhanger, like in Sex. I feel like that's the best way to describe it, where you're like, imagine stopping right before you're about to bust, and then you go away.
Well,
you had a great time.
Yeah.
You had a fucking wonderful time. And then all of a sudden, oh shit! It just kind of ended. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I feel like again, it's like a Hateful Eight situation where it's like, if I know that's how it's going to end, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more.
I would be totally fine if I knew what I was getting into.
Because Hateful Eight, I remember watching in theaters, and I remember like, oh my god, this is so long, dude. Like this is so slow and so long. I want to die. Like, what's going on? And then I finished it, and I was like, yeah, that was fine, but goddamn, that was slow. And then when I watched it again, I was like, oh, it's not that bad the second time because I know exactly like how long things take and how like what to expect.
I love
and
that
all that.
movie.
So I feel like it's I feel like it's going to be
movies.
one of those things where I'd probably like it a lot more, but I also feel like it's
yeah. Now
I don't
that you
man.
know, I feel like I'll like it when the other one's out, and then I can watch them back to back. Essentially,
It'll be a
Easily,
better
by the way,
experience. It'll be a better viewing experience.
Easily the best Spider-Man trilogy. That I think we're probably on to. I think it's pretty safe to say that whatever the next movie is probably going to be the finisher to like easily the best Spider-Man trilogy. Like,
It's gonna be like even if it's not great, it's still gonna be better than everything else we've got. You know, because of how good the second one was. You know,
well, it's the first one's great, the second one's great, and the third one. Even if the third one's good, then we'll have like a pretty solid.
The way that cliffhanger, man, that cliffhanger was insane.
How do we convince Hollywood? How do we convince Hollywood that, hey guys, your fucking live action shit is unnecessary? This is
never,
like
it's never gonna work.
Did you see the fucking Flash?
But it would.
It's never gonna work. It never works.
Did I see?
Did
the
you
Flash?
guys see the Flash?
I mean, what do you mean the trailers?
The fact that he was just there.
Yeah, the movie.
No, did you see it already?
It's not out, is it?
So I saw things on Twitter, and they're real. They're confirmed, dude. The most disrespectful shit I've ever seen.
Really? Is it that bad?
They CGI'd Christopher Reeve's Superman and fucking like Adam West Batman and all this.
You heard
all
that
these
too?
That it's real.
Oh, so they had to put the corpses in there?
Yeah, they just put corpses
You're
in there,
lying.
and it's like, I'm not kidding. They even had. I don't know if this is real. Because this looked a little shy. Like, I was watching it, I was like, this looks weird. But they had fucking Nicolas Cage's Superman from, like, that canceled movie in there.
No way.
But, like, I'm not... Yeah. That's more dubious. But, like, fucking... They really did CGI Christopher Reeves.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, against the wishes of his family.
Really?
Was he like...
Yeah.
Was he, like, fighting a horse? Like, you know, like, he's like
was
Superman.
was a horse kicking him in his back?
It's like a fucking space horse. Somehow
horse
Beta Ray Bill.
You could put him in the movie... You can put him in the movie with his PS2 graphics as long as you have him suplex a horse into dust.
Yeah.
That was such a sad situation because I loved Lois and Clark. I really, really, really liked that show growing up. I think that's why I became a Superman fan.
What about it?
You didn't. That's the show he was in.
No, you're crazy.
We're talking about
Christopher Reeve was the original Superman from the movies.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. He was Lois and Clark.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay.
No, he wasn't. There was another guy that was. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
No, so there's George, which was his poppy, and then there's Christopher, who did Superman 1 through 4. And
he did 1 through 4. Then
Christopher Reeve was the Superman in Superman 1 through 4. Lois and Clark was someone else.
I don't know his name, but I watched Lois and Clark for sure. I didn't watch Smallville. I was already kind of like out of the teen the teen drama shit. I just wasn't into it.
I watched Smallville too.
I wasn't into it.
Little at that time.
Yeah,
I didn't. I missed it. Maybe it had some good moments.
Tyler
and stuff.
Holchin was his name.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even. I did watch it though as a kid. I watched Lois and Clark.
I watched the fuck out of that show because I had a grandma.
Yeah. Dick
Dean Cain.
I watched the fuck out of that show. But yeah, I liked. That was why I think I liked Superman because I got to. I was in, because the 90s is the cynical era of everything, where everything got, like, cynical and edgy and angsty. So my introduction to Superman wasn't then. It was when I was a kid watching Lois and Clark and being, like, really nice. And I was like, oh, this guy's cool. He's friendly.
I found it through the animated series.
Yeah, the Tim Daly, Bruce Timm shit, dude. Like, that was...
That was not me. I watched, because the animated series was when I was very, very small. It was when I was, like, I could control the TV and know what I wanted to watch by that time. Because I remember watching the Justice League cartoon when it aired, when it was the movie airing on Cartoon Network. I remember that because it was a wedding of one of my cousins. And my grandma was like, Kingston, you have to go. And I was like, I really don't feel well. And I lied to watch the movie. I lied to stay home and watch a superhero movie. And I was like, this is really cool. I love it. And I remember watching the whole rest of the series until 2004. And it was fucking awesome.
It's great.
Awesome show.
It still holds up.
Awesome show,
it's fucking awesome. Young Justice is good too.
Really good. Really fucking good, man.
I never watched Young Justice.
We're talking about anime shows right now. And I want you see the success of the Spider-Verse, and the third one is going to be good too. It's why we know we can get much better shit whenever you. I was talking about Resident Evil because I've been playing RE4 and the degeneration and I think devolution or whatever those animated fucking the CGI movies.
They were fun.
They're so fucking fun.
They're fun.
Versus the live action ones that are just. They're just fucking,
Look, dude, we'll never get that full transition. We'll never get it.
As
much as it would be better, it would be genuinely for real better in almost every way. We'll never get it because of the fact that the stars that you can attach to the films will always gross more money by people that don't respect animation. It's true. It is true. There's no reason why.
Well, that's why they had.
Spider-Verse shouldn't be up there for film of the year. Like film, as a film, it should be up there.
I know what you mean.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be animation of years of the film.
I mean, that's why even they still even with like the animated or like live action Disney remake, like Lion King is live action, but it's entirely CG animated. I don't understand that.
I know that's
but like
funny.
even that movie, they were like, who should we get to play these people? Beyonce.
I mean,
and it's like you gotta have the names. You gotta have the names in there.
Man. I'm not to tear down the actors
true.
because I think they're all very well chose voice actors for these roles. Shaquem Moore, actor already, notable actor from Dope, from freaking into Wu-Tang, American Saga. We got Haley Seinfeld. We got freaking Daniel Kaluuya. We got fucking Oscar Isaac. We Issa Rae. Fucking who else? The guy for the cousin from Atlanta as the dad. It's just unfortunately always you need stars to do these things. Now, don't get me wrong. Often voice actors and actors, very different kinds of people. These actors did a very good job for these characters. Because if they didn't, they would lose their shit.
See, here's the thing. You don't need that, but it's just the culture. It's how it's been built. You don't need it because, number one, the people, like when I went to see it, I was angry because there was half the people that were there. And I went on a Sunday or something in the middle of the day because I didn't want to go with people. But it was still full of kids. I was angry. But the whole thing is it's a cartoon. Parents are bringing their kids. The kids don't give a flying fuck who's voicing this shit. The kids are going to bring their parents. That's who they're going to be opening their wallets, right? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And if a grown ass person can still appreciate something without it being like, A-list, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just the culture. They're just doing it. I get it when it's live action, right? Like, say, put in Scarlett Johansson to do fucking Ghost in the Shell. I understand why they're doing that because who the fuck's gonna see that movie who doesn't know what Ghost in the Shell is? But then they're like, Scarlett Johansson, I know her as Black Widow and whatever the fuck she's done. I'm gonna give it a chance. I get that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, those things need to happen so that it's like what is it? Blank walks so that blank could run. Like we wouldn't really have a lot of. I really don't think we'd have a lot of. You have like Parasite and like Squid Game and like those types of like or even just fucking Everything Everywhere, things like that where it's like. I mean, we have those because unfortunately we had to get there
from Breakfast
with
at
like
Tiffany's?
fucking Tom Cruise in fucking Last Samurai. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. I was like,
hey, that movie rules, bro.
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
What?
I was gonna say that movie's so disrespectful. That is the most disrespectful shit.
It's not like a Medea movie or something.
Nah, dude, I think that's worse, man. Medea is black people being stereotypical to black people.
You know what's
Breakfast
fucked
at
up?
Tiffany's, that is not an Asian man at all, and the way he presents as an Asian man is so disrespectful.
That's not an Asian man?
Yeah.
The way that he contorted his face, every line, I was like, yo, how do they think this is so...
In Breakfast at Tiffany's? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The super's not, and the landlord's not.
Isn't that the same guy that starred in Karate Kid?
Are you sure?
Isn't that Mr. Miyagi? Isn't that the same person? Is it the same person?
No, that's...
Yo, can I tell you something?
What's up?
Can I tell you something?
You're lying.
I've never seen this movie.
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
That's great.
You don't need to.
Popular
you don't need to see
fucking
it.
movie.
Why the fuck would I see this?
You don't need to see it. There's a lot of iconic movies that you don't need to see. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. You don't need to see Citizen Kane unless you want to kill yourself.
You really don't.
You really don't.
You really. If there's ever a movie you didn't need to see, Citizen Kane might be at the top of the list.
I think it's a good movie. But
Breakfast
it's
at
like, I
Tiffany's
understand.
Landlord.
I understand what it is, though.
Are you looking at him right now?
Oh my! What is this?
Wait. You haven't seen this motherfucker before? Oh wow! How the hell did you go your whole life
Oh
with that?
my god!
Dude,
what
it's
the
so
fuck?
offensive. It's so
sick.
offensive.
You know what's
What the fuck is this, Mr. Yoshinoya?
Yeah,
That's why they named the place after him.
stupid.
Wild.
It's been drilled into my head because what
That guy looks.
Go ahead.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite movies growing up was Dragon, a Bruce Lee story,
Yeah.
and this always stayed with me. Him and his girlfriend, Bruce Lee and his girlfriend, go see Breakfast at Tiffany's, and his fucking white ass girlfriend is laughing her ass off.
And he walks out.
He says, "Well, no. He's just sitting there, just stone faced, like, what the fuck is this shit?" And I'm a kid laughing that he's like not laughing. I think it's so funny that like she's so stupid that she would think this is cool to bring him to. It's just a great like
No, he doesn't even leave the steering.
no,
Leave, and he's
she says, "Hey, let's go." Like, because she realizes then, but she was too stupid to realize before that, like, oh, I'm pretty sure this my fucking Asian boyfriend isn't gonna like this fucking.
Well, also, Bruce Lee's part white too, as well,
motherfucker
so he doesn't
is in a
count.
hot
He's part
tub.
white.
Bruce Lee is not part white.
Yes, he is.
This motherfucker
His mom
is
is
in a
half
hot
white.
tub with
That
a
ass
Mom is
joking.
half white?
Not joking. His mom is
This
half
is
white. Actually, that's
crazy.
serious.
That is news
Swear to
me.
God. Swear to God.
That
He's-
is that
And I
is
can
German.
believe that.
that is news to me.
Well, I mean,
he's definitely
man.
more an Asian man than
So
anything
he's like-
else, obviously. But
so he's
his
racist?
mom is half
He's all-
white.
I didn't know he was a Nazi. That's fucked up.
Don't say that. That's
Can't
not
believe
the
Bruce
same
Lee-
thing.
hey,
I
Dad.
can't believe Bruce Lee was fucking.
Like a child. Don't say that. Don't do that, bud.
Don't call me that, Howard.
We will
Don't
fight
call me that.
in name of the Fourth Reich.
It's so funny. I always forget that kid's name in that video. I
Don't call me
always
that,
substitute that
Steven.
kid's- Don't call me yeah. It's always like Howard, Stephen, John.
He hit him so
Joseph.
hard. The thing is, that what makes it so bad is that the kid is not trying to argue with him. He's trying to leave. And then Steven, insert white boy name here, is just standing in his way, preventing him from leaving. And he calls him the N-word. And he's like, why would you call me that? Punch. Don't call me that
me
while
that,
he's laying there.
I just love how politely he asks it. I'll never get tired of that. Anyway, what else? What else is there to?
Oh, I know what we got to talk about. I'm disgusted. I wish I didn't know that he had a half German mother. That just ruins everything for me.
Why does that ruin him?
Yeah. There was a pureness to him that I respected, and now
Jesus
I feel
Christ. It's
like
like when
You're
white people
married
find
to
out that
a
Marilyn
white
Monroe
woman.
was
Shut
Mexican.
up. Shut up. You're a whole ass white person.
but she's not German. God.
But she's not German.
I just don't respect them. You know, one of my favorite things about this podcast is just disrespecting like groups of people. It's so
vapid.
It's so funny. I
can
like,
tell.
I love when we shit on British niggas. Like when we just shit on the UK is my favorite. I love when it comes up.
They're less
It's
human than we
amazing.
are. They
It's
are less
amazing
human than we
too,
are.
It's amazing because I know so little about the UK. I
Yeah.
know I know so fucking little.
That's
about
insane.
like I know the comedy and I know I watch a lot of their television and stuff. I get it, but like
Yeah.
if you asked me to point to where London was on a map, I would not have.
Me
the
and
fucking
Derek have at
faintest
least
idea.
been there. Well, you're just
I've never been
ignorant. You're just truly ignorant.
Yeah, I don't care to. Like, where am I going to go? Wales?
I don't care to learn. I don't care to learn.
I don't.
Oh, right. Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, what else? What else we
Yeah,
got?
dude, we got to talk about we got to talk about Sweeney, man. He's been kind
Starfield?
of wilding a
Starfield
little bit.
take?
He's been wilding a little bit on this Starfield.
Oh my
thing.
god, I was kidding.
There's no way
Everybody
you were.
got so mad. Chris was like just trying to sun me, and I was making fun of the fact that it was going to be 30 frames per second on the Series S or X. One of the
On
both of them,
both
if
of
I'm
them.
mistaken, I think both
Yeah.
are going to have 30 frames per second, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate, but the idea of everything they're trying to render, and if it all exists at one time, making that at 60, like if it all exists outside of you being on those planets, that's a feat that we all know on release is gonna be looking all kinds of silly.
Yeah.
Looking all kinds of ridiculous.
I am so excited to see people's heads spinning. Do you remember Fallout New Vegas?
A mess,
when, like,
bro.
the very beginning of Fallout New Vegas, when that guy like wakes you up and you're on the bed in that room, and he's like, I remember his head was like twisting. Those games are always like bug fest.
I mean, even Skyrim. There's times when I boot up my Skyrim now that my horse is flying, and if I get off my horse, I die. So I just have to keep flying on my horse throughout the world of Tamriel.
Skyrim to this day, bugged to hell, heaven and high water.
It's better off than it was, which is insane.
Dude, on PS3 at launch, that thing was unusable. That thing, like, Skyrim on PS3 in 2011, I think ran at, no joke, maybe like 15, 17 frames a second.
Maybe.
That's enough.
Maybe.
That's enough.
On like a good day.
I couldn't. There was parts of the map on 360 in 2011 that literally. No, this is 2012, so they already patched a little bit. And still, in 2012, I couldn't go where the giants were in the middle of the map. It literally, my game would just shut off. It would immediately just fucking crash.
Yeah,
I didn't. Play,
I know
they
said. I know they're talking
Skyrim.
about how like. I know they're talking about how like this is going to be our most bug-free game. It's like, I don't know about that. I do think it's going to be fucking crazy. And I do think it's going to be really fucking dope and cool. But ain't no way. Like, are you kidding, man?
Look,
you got like all these planets. You got all this shit going on. And it's going to be fewer bugs in this than there was in Skyrim. You're crazy. You're I don't know what you're smoking.
It sounds
not even
fake
possible.
as shit. It sounds
back,
fake as
back
shit.
doesn't even sound remotely possible.
Back to my fucking takes, right? So I was just making fun. Right? I was just at a certain point, you're there for the meme, right? And Chris was just like, you got to be fucking idiotic if you think this is gonna be easy. And I was like, Chris, I play Dungeons and Dragons. I make up the FPS for that game. That is a game that I have to. I have to imagine it. I'm just kidding. I think if I'm being very honest,
you started off sounding kind of authentic.
I don't think it looks anywhere near as remarkable as I want it to be, because I feel like this is my take, right? This is my take from sci-fi. I like sci-fi where there's a lot going on in space. Some people value the more alone and scenic like exploration of space, opposed to me. I like space when it's like it's filled with a lot of things that we don't get, so it's still alien in its way that we interact with it, but it's not desolate,
right?
And that's my personal take from it, right? Not that saying Starfield looks like it's going to be a terrible game entirely. That's a hyperbolic statement, obviously, for reactions. It's fucking funny, but I don't. It's going to be a Bethesda game. Derek broke down something very gently. The Bethesda game is going to be fucking silly-ass side characters.
Always.
I can't believe they brought that the adoring
fuck
fan
from Oblivion.
That motherfucker
the guy from
is still there.
The fucking Oblivion guy. He made it to space.
You know how long? You know how long and different dimensions that is. And this nigga made it. He made it to space.
His lineage is so strong, it's insane.
He might have magic. He might still have magic. That is terrifying. You got to kill him fast.
They hinted at magic at the end of the end of the fucking direct, which is
there's
cool. That I will say though, like that Starfield direct, fucking awesome presentation. Like that is exactly how. That is probably the best direct on like a single game, or the best like Vidoc on a single game that I've ever seen. Like they covered so much shit. They paced it perfectly. They had like the developers talking. Awesome. Like every game that's that complicated should have a direct like that.
Well, I think
that was like really, really fucking well done.
A lot of games, I think a lot of modern games need shit like that, just to be able to set the ground of what you're going to experience.
I can't. I wasn't in love with it only because I kind of I'm the impatient person that's like, all right, give it to me, let me figure it out myself, kind of a thing. I'm not saying it was bad. It wasn't bad at all. Especially my favorite part was the customization of the ships, where I was like, I can't wait to see what people come up with. That was the thing.
Penises.
Of course, there's going to be cock and balls, of course.
Of course, that's going to be.
But then there's going to be like. And then of course when mods get introduced, I'm really excited.
The mod scene for Starfield is going to be fucking outlandish.
Yeah.
Yo, there needs to be a planet full of like Mr. Popo looking people. That needs to be a fucking
I'm
thing.
sure.
I'm
sure that's already done. Some developer on his free time has been making it. It's like, this is mine. This is gonna be so. They're not even gonna find it.
It's gonna be so sick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the thing that's frustrating is because not necessarily you, but like there are people whose jobs it is to like cover the industry who don't understand like on a fundamental level how video games work, and it's crazy. Like it's honestly like because it's not just you saying like the joking about the 30 frames per second. Like people are like there are people with like followings who are like considered like very educated on the industry who are talking about it in ways that prove that they just don't understand. Like it's like comparing Gears of War 1 to the first Mass Effect. And you know what I mean? And like why can Gears of War run smoothly and the combat in fucking Mass Effect sucks? And it's like because Mass Effect isn't Gears of War.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's the same reason why Zelda is fine at 30 frames. Like the reason Zelda is fine, if Zelda wasn't Zelda, 30 frames wouldn't be
it wouldn't work on it.
Like if Zelda was just like your average fucking game and it's like not doing it. Redfall is a great example. Redfall at 30, no excuse. There's no reason on the fucking sun, on the face of the earth, why Redfall should run at 30 frames per second. Unacceptable. There's nothing ambitious about Redfall. It's not doing anything cool.
That's so
it's
mean.
Not,
There's nothing ambitious about this.
Even the people who worked on the game were just like, yeah, it's not surprising. Like they lost 70% of their staff making that game. And by the time it had come out, it had been 2 years, and everybody was like, I can't believe it's still there. I can't believe it's still the way we left it 2 years ago. It's fucking crazy. And for that game to run at 30 frames per second, that's unacceptable. But when I see like, it seems really trivial, right? Because it's not sexy. It's not like the front-facing things. It's all underlying systems. So the fact that, even though it's really dumb, the fact that you can go onto people's ships and steal their sandwiches and throw them on a pile in a cargo hold, and that cargo hold and it stays there. How many games do we play where like we kill an enemy and they disappear
immediately
from the battlefield?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like
much
immediately.
Every game that isn't a Bethesda game or a
right
or what do you call it, or a BioWare game. Or BioWare in spirit.
But that's
you know.
But that's what's special. That's the secret sauce of Bethesda games is that like the world remembers what you do in it, and like that's cool. That's what people like about it.
Oh, I killed that rad ghoul over here and had a cool gun. I have space now, and you go and you dilute its carcass.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get what you're saying. Like, there's definitely, like, as far as, like, sci-fi worlds, I definitely prefer, like, stuff like Mass Effect, where there's, like, aliens and, like, societies and you can interact with them, there's stories and stuff. But I do think...
Like Star Trek, Star Wars. Star Wars,
well, even, like...
Not modern Star Wars, but, like, what Star Wars is as a galaxy. There's things like that.
Yeah. Other Bethesda games, right?
Huh?
Similar to, like, I feel like that's the big difference between... In general, because you think about the Elder Scrolls games or even Fallout, where you have different, because of mutations and stuff, you have different races. You have like the ghouls, you have the super mutants, you have different things, you have monsters, and then obviously Elder Scrolls, you have just all the different bullshit, like the cats and the elves, and just
the cats.
The fucking Antonio Banderas. They all talk like Antonio Banderas.
Would you honestly be able? I'm being absolutely serious. What? Would you honestly be able to sleep safely knowing a Kashyyyk was your roommate? I would not be able to sleep safely. I'm like, I can't trust you. You're gonna, because you remember the Drasago, that piece of shit, that nigga tried to kill me 4 times.
Kingston's describing the fact that he is deeply susceptible to racism.
I'm not, but Drasago sucks.
I don't like that. I wouldn't trust cat people because that one guy.
They also
is an asshole.
Stealing is like what they do, and hey, man, that's the way they live their lives, you know. But
stealing is what they do, Kingston.
No, they do.
Damn, he's just digging his
that's why they don't let them in
hole.
the cities. No, listen, that's why they don't let them in the cities because they will steal. It's fine. They're different. They're different makeup from us.
You have a problem with more. You have more of a problem with the Kashyyyk than like the Thieves Guild.
No. The Thieves Guild, wait a minute. I, as a fellow Nightingale, we do it with an honor to it, okay? First and foremost, right? Don't insult my homies.
There's
This dude
literally
prances
no
around
honor.
Riften.
Literally no honor among thieves.
No, there is.
You prance around Riften like everything's cool, and then as soon as you see a cat person, you're like, hey, hey, you, the fuck out of here.
Riften is so bad. Riften is so bad that there are entrances from the Thieves Guild into people's homes, straight up people's houses. This guy's on the loo and he sees a nightingale come out of the floor and is like, just be quiet and give me your stuff. It could get way worse. Just give me your shit.
I think, but yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know. I saw like a lot of like big people in the industry like acting really weird about it. Because they were like, why can God of War run at 60 frames and Starfield can't run it? And it's like,
thing.
bro, like I really hate to break it to you, but God of War is not even remotely as complicated as even Skyrim is.
Exactly.
Like
it
is.
Not to mention
like,
that God of War
not.
is optimized on one piece of hardware.
Well, God of War is actually optimized for PS4.
Exactly.
Whoa, no,
that's
you're right.
another
No,
reason
you're right.
why.
It's on the PS4 as well, because that's another reason why it was no point in getting that console that me and my girlfriend spent days up and spending half $1,000 on.
Well, you played the better version. You did play the better version.
I mean, yeah, I played a better version, but like it's still like it's just like.
But
like,
what I'm
after
but the point that I'm trying
drops,
to
right? Like, what's the point of having a PS5 after Spider-Man drops? Like, what's next?
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll happen.
What?
The point that I'm trying to make basically is we are really, really used to games running at 60 frames per second because for fucking 3 years now, every big game that's come out has also released on the previous generation. True. And that's why it can run at like fucking 120 frames per second on fucking modern hardware. Because we don't have any games really utilizing modern hardware in the same way that we really should. And the ones that we do have utilizing modern hardware are games that aren't really complicated. Like it's like something like Demon's Souls Remake. Like there's really not a lot going on Demon's Souls Remake. It's really pretty. It's fucking high fidelity, but it ain't Skyrim, dude. It ain't Fallout 3. Like it's not. It's different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it looks cool. I don't have like my expectations are that it'll be like a really solid Bethesda RPG. I think it's dope as hell that you can board enemy ships like on a whim. I think that's fucking sick. I think the fact that like you can divert power from your engines to your fucking guns and like the fact that there's depth in space combat is crazy because I was not expecting any of that. Ship customization looks dope. I'm not really the whole like 1,000 planets things doesn't really do much for me. I don't really care. I get why it needs to be there in the same way that like in Breath of the Wild there's just like long stretches of plains that don't really serve a purpose. It's just kind of just to fill in the space for you to get that feeling of vastness. Mm. I appreciate that. That's fine. I'm not going to spend any time on those barren planets though. Like I'm not going to be fucking resource gathering. I'm going to be mainlining as much as I can. But
I see, yeah.
But being a pirate in fucking space and actually having like systems work to actually like sell that experience, boarding enemy ships, fucking luring people in with like fake promises, pirate shit. There's a whole like Western looking Firefly City.
Yeah,
that's dope as hell.
Of course, I was like, yeah,
I'm into it. I'm more into it now than I was like a couple like last week because last week I was like, I like what is this game even doing? Like, what is this? Just Fallout in space? Like big deal,
dude. The fucking
like,
the unarmed combat actually looked fun.
It actually doesn't. The combat actually doesn't look terrible
fun.
either.
Combat looks smooth and like, motherfucker was showing that like just beating the fuck out of people. I was like, that's pretty smooth.
The second they showed that guy punching a dinosaur, I was like, that's fucking awesome. I love that that's there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I think it'll be cool. I won't get it immediately, but I'll see.
I do feel like it's probably not Kingston's type of game though. Like I do. It's not because I almost look at it like, you know how like Red Dead Redemption 2 was like a cowboy simulator more than it was like an action adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like Space Explorer Simulator more than it is like epic sci-fi adventure. Like it's like there are people who are going to be playing this game who are just exclusively pirates, you know, and there are people who are going to be playing this game who are exclusively like, I want to run a mining operation on some random moon. Or there's people who are just going to be like, I want to do fucking this and this and that. It's like it's more of like a sandbox.
They all are.
It looks fucking
They all
cool.
are. There are more. They're like they make sandboxes more than they make like.
Yeah, like
like
it's like
particular
Skyrim, where it's like
experiences.
it's like Skyrim, where it's like the main quest of Skyrim is the worst part of that game. Like, there's really nothing all that special about the main quest. It's all about like the Dark Brotherhood and shit.
What's the main
and,
quest
like,
of Skyrim?
fucking-
You gotta kill what's his name, right?
You gotta kill a fucking dragon on a mountain.
Is it Parthenax
Parth-
or is it
yeah,
the other
Parthenax.
dude? Alduin. No, it's
it's
Alduin.
Parthenax.
Wait, no, Parthenax.
Parthenax is your homie.
You do. Well, you either you have to. You can't be a part of the what's it
The
you
Fang.
can't be
The Blade.
the blade. You can't be a part of the blade if you don't kill him. Parthenax.
I killed him.
But then
I killed that
Alduin.
nigga.
Alduin.
I
you're
murdered
right.
him.
Alduin, yeah.
And he was just like, I
Parthenax is
understand,
voiced
brother.
by he's voiced by Mario, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I remember that. I don't know why I know that.
Because it was so
Chris
crazy
Pratt,
that
right?
information got revealed. Everybody was like, what the hell?
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt voices Parthenax.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris. It's Parthenax. Yippee.
Chris Pratt. What is he? Chris Pratt doesn't even have a discernible voice.
He does. He sounds like a guy.
No, he doesn't.
I'm Chris
You guys-
Pratt.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be playing it on PC though. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, why would you play it on anything other than PC? Ew.
Oh,
Like, I want
yeah.
those frames and
Ew.
also that mod scene.
I'm immediately.
I can't fucking wait
Fucking what
to
kind of-
see like
I
bikini
can't wait to put
bottom.
what kind of
hits on
bum
my-
isn't gonna
I'm
play it
put
on PC?
Hits on my ship, dude.
What kind of
That's
fucking
what-
rabbit bum is gonna play it on console? What kind of poor bastard, what kind of fucking downtrodden cunt is gonna play it on a console?
To be fair, there were Bethesda approved mods on the consoles for Fallout and Skyrim.
Yeah,
To be fair, they
Yeah,
did
but,
give
like,
them
those are the
something.
approved
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, they gave them something.
you know what's crazy?
What?
I remember there was a mod on the Xbox One version of Fallout 4 that was straight up just like, hey, this mod will run the game at 60,
Oh,
and
interesting.
it worked.
Yeah.
Like, it totally fucking worked. I remember trying it out. I was like, why is this a mod?
That's so funny.
It works perfectly fine.
I hope they have the mod where every interaction is the N-word.
I mean,
Like
On
every
PC.
interaction is the N-word.
On PC, you'll probably get it. You'll probably
Every-
get it eventually.
every single interaction.
This comes up there. It's more R's. That's how you can tell how serious it is.
Dude, I'm gonna have a cargo hold full of dead people.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
know
gonna
that's
be lugging around dead
that is
people across space.
absolutely going to happen. That is true.
Yeah, dude. When they were approaching the planet and it was like scanning the ship for like stolen items, I thought that was like, ooh, that's interesting.
How do
That's so
I
cool.
steal still though?
Yeah, it's like I gotta find clever ways to steal.
You gotta make it drop in. When you're on each orbit, you let it drop in, and then you go
Just
through and
you
open
pick
your
it up on the
hatch.
ground?
As it falls in. You open your hatch.
Hell yes.
That's so fucked up. Anyway, what are we at right now? You gotta get going, Derek.
Yes, I do.
All right,
All right, skedaddle.
get the fuck out of here.
Sayonara, nigga.
Yeah. God damn.
Get the hell out of here. What an asshole. Fucking abandoning us in the middle of an episode.
I gotta go pick up my wife.
I gotta go pick up my wife. I gotta go push a long string of shit out of my asshole. I gotta
long string, a string of shit. You don't
a
even
thin
shit
1
regular.
centimeter.
You don't even take
I
normal
don't know.
shit. You take thin ones.
How would you feel if you met somebody who took shits like like toothpaste?
I was be like, why?
Like thin strands, but like still thick enough to be like, what's going on?
I would just ask him, "You all right?" That's it.
I wouldn't ask a single fucking thing.
And then they would
I
give me
just
a
none of my
response, and
business.
I'd let that response be all of it. I wouldn't let anything else happen. I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm not doing this anymore."
I gotta say, before we move on to questions, they did my boy dirty in Spider-Verse. Man.
Who?
How do you not
Daniel
have?
Barnes?
How do you not have the '90s animated series Spider-Man in there?
Because
That's crazy.
Look, I think he should have
He
spoke.
did the first Spider-Verse.
he should have spoke. I agree. He should have spoke. I think he should have spoke.
Crazy. Unacceptable.
That was the only opportunity I feel like they genuinely missed. I feel like that was
Yeah,
genuinely
it
an
was. To
opportunity.
be fair,
I was
like
that's-
it really like I get that it was. I get that people liked seeing Spectacular there. Spectacular doesn't do really anything for me, but it was cool to see it. But like, man, I really can't believe.
Okay, this is about to be a lot of spoilers. So sorry, guys. The Gambino spoiler was insane. It was cool. That was nuts. The Gambino thing.
It was cool, but like he also looked really wrong. I get that that's the point, because like he's in a different universe and everything's like
understand?
animated.
Do you understand why it was so weird? Why he was staring at him?
I understand. Yeah.
Because in the universe where he lived in, the show Community exists. So he went through another dimension and saw Donald Glover as his uncle. And he was just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was. I just think that movie was very, very good. I understand that people have the argument where like it ended and that bothers them, but I think that doesn't take away from the performances that we got and the story.
No, it's a good movie. It's
which was very good.
It's like Halo. It's like Halo 2 to me, where it's like that was good, that ain't done.
But Halo 2 is the best one. It should have been done.
Halo 2 is the best one, but it also. It's only the best one because it has a chance to lead into something that concludes it. Like there's like,
no, I don't agree
because I don't feel because dude, when Halo 2 came out initially, like people were fucking pissed because they were just like, bro, are you serious?
Well, Halo 2,
you're gonna leave us hanging like that?
They changed the line Halo 2. Granted,
they did, but no, but I mean, like I'm talking about like cliffhanger wise. They were just like, bro, you're gonna leave me like that? Fuck, people hated that, and they only liked it because. Yeah, I remember when I finished Halo 2 for the first time, like, and I really understood it, I only had a couple months to wait for Halo 3, so I was like, dope, sick, this is exciting. But, like, I can imagine in, like, 2004 being like, wow, fuck you, that sucks.
Fuck you, Microsoft.
But it worked out. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break and move on to questions. Gay System of a Down aerials be like, man, asshole, so damn tight. When you thrust inside, you see the light. Wrote in. Says, hey, fellas, here's an insane question. What if your girlfriend walked in wearing blackface and realized she's hotter in it? Do you...
That is such an insane thing. You're like,
do you forsake your morals and give in or stop her?
What if that happened? Lily walks in and she's black and she's more attractive, and I'm like, wow.
I feel like that can't be possible.
What if it's just like very well done, like Afrocentric makeup that makes them black?
like fucking like oh my god, Tropic
Thunder, yeah. Thunder. But they're black. I would.
So it's a whole feature set. It's not just like a skin swap.
Yeah, it's like they.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that's more possible. But like, I mean, I feel bad for albinos. You know what I mean? Like where it's just like you're clearly the wrong color.
You're in a palette swap, bro. That sucks.
You're in a palette swap reality. Your palette swapped you. This is your canon event. Is you being palette swapped?
I would.
What do you think your canon event is?
Mine. My mom died probably.
You think so?
Yeah, that was an event. Every Kingston across the universe loses their mom, and it's like, damn, that's
crazy. It's just always a person dying.
It has to be, I think.
It's never like I lost on the stock market or like
I misplaced a pencil. It's always like someone's death. It has to be what
it's always somebody's grueling, painful death.
What forges you into who you are.
That's so man. I don't like thinking about that. I don't know, man. I can't fathom. I can't imagine this.
What would you say? Your girl comes in. I mean, your girl comes in right now as a black woman, way more attractive, like noticeably.
I mean,
like you're so
scared. Black, it's makeup.
You're so scared that you're like, who are you, random attractive woman? Get out of my room. I have a girlfriend, and he's like, oh, it's me, and you're like, what?
I would stop her.
I would let her do that
because like because even if that was true, I understand it's still just makeup, so it's useless to me. It makes no it's pointless.
I would have to have a long conversation with my girlfriend about how unokay that is. I was like,
what's so unokay about
it? just going.
Did you ever see that show? You ever see that show White Black?
No.
You've never seen that show?
No, what is it about?
Oh my god, you would love it. It's like a show from like the late 90s where the idea was like, let's get two families, a white family and a black family, and swap, like it was like race swap basically. Like they put on like genuine prosthetics, they put on like makeup, they had the white family in blackface, the black family in whiteface, I guess. And they had them walking around and just like just observing the world through the other person, the other group's eyes, but they would put them in intentionally like I remember the black family was like disguised as white, and then they had them sit in on like some boardroom conversation about racism, exclusively comprised of white people. And then they would do like the opposite for like the other family. The dude, how there's such a the white dad in blackface so swiftly says the N-word, it's insane.
What?
Like constantly.
Like frame one?
Like frame one. Like the start screen hasn't even showed up yet. It still says like, you know, Bandai Namco.
It is just already saying the N-word.
It's fucking it is crazy. It is one of the most crazy shows I've ever seen. I was like, I can't believe this is real and was on TV.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I'm about to cry. Oh my fucking god. That
yeah, it would make you laugh.
Sounds fantastic. The idea
It's something,
the
man.
idea of the N-word, the idea of people that shouldn't say N-word saying the N-word is the funniest thing to me on the planet, dude.
Well, it's more just the idea of it's the idea of like it's like the spot in Spider-Verse where it's like, I'm gonna say I'm black now, Spider-Man.
I can say it now, Spider-Man. Look at you.
I can say it now, Spider-Man.
Are you mad, Spider-Man?
This is my canon event. I'm black now.
I'm black now, Spider-Man. Look at me. The fact that he is the guy he threw the bagel at is the attention to detail from the previous movie is so insane, because that's what happens when people make movies they really enjoy and they pay attention to it. Like the fact that like Miles gets bit, and once he gets bit he meets Peter, the event changes where the background goes from purple and green to blue and red. It's like, that's fucking wild attention to detail.
Yeah,
Hobie
the
as a
glitching spider is
character
another one.
Is insane.
Even just the glitching spider in the beginning,
Yeah.
kind of signifies that it's from a different dimension, which you don't really. I never really thought about that. Like when I was watching the first movie, because I was like, oh, I figure it's like just some weird science spider. I didn't think like, oh, it's from a different dimension. Even though it's clearly set up.
It is. You just don't pay attention to it though.
Yeah, because it's not important to that story, really. Like it has no bearing on what happens in the first movie at all.
It's insane, dude.
It's really cool. They did a fucking really banger. I love the Spot too. I like that. I like that character a lot because his power set is actually like
horrifying.
His power set is fucking super cool. Like if you actually like consider like what that character can do, it's insane.
I mean, we see that as the movie progresses, like, oh, this guy is getting significantly more dangerous. He went from getting like Miles and him fooling around to the point where like 4 spiders were attacking him, and he was just sending them in different parts of the places, like being completely like obstructive. Like in the next movie, we're gonna see what he can really do, and it's gonna be horrifying.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's probably gonna be throwing straight up like whole different dimensional things at people.
But dude, this is exactly another reason why, man. Like, crazy to not have the animated series Spider-Man in there, because not only was that the first animated introduction of the Spot, the first animated introduction of the Spider-Verse.
Was that the first introduction of Spot?
It was the first animated introduction of the Spot, yeah, in the Spider-Man animated series.
Because he actually had eyes in that show, right?
Yeah, it was like he had normal eyes, but they were like he
had a mouth too,
he
right?
looked like Silver Surfer, like a Dalmatian Silver Surfer.
Okay,
basically.
yeah, I remember him.
But like that was the character, and he was like formidable in that show. Like the Spot in the '90s animated series is literally like completely tied into like the plot of the overall show. Like when Green Goblin throws Mary Jane into the interdimensional portal, that's Spot's fucking portal shit. And so like
they never finished that show.
I know.
They never finished that show.
Fucking They could have at least, man. They could have at least
they're
had
finishing X-Men. They're gonna actually finish X-Men. That's coming out next year. They should finish Spider-Man. Just to see. Well, no.
You know why they canceled Spider-Man? Actually,
why?
Because Avi Arad, the producer, was just a fucking asshole, and the studio, I think Fox just like hated him, and they were just like, "Fuck you, fuck your show."
Such a waste.
Even though it wasn't Avi Arad's show, like he was a dickhead. He was like, Spider-Man in the animated series is to sell toys, and the creator of the show was like, I actually feel like we could write like a good show, maybe. Also, though, it's like he had to like convince Avi Arad that like, no, a good show will sell toys. It's crazy.
The show,
fucking that guy sucks.
What sucks is that the show had like there's just that was the era. Remember the era of the 2000s where everything up until like 2010, when everything began being made to sell toys. Before a period of time, you had to sell toys to be allowed to be a show in the first place. Same with X-Men.
Yeah, it was like the 80s up until like 2010.
2010, everything had to, like, Young Justice came out immediately, like, hugely well received. Everybody loved it. Got canceled because it wasn't selling toys.
Is too. I'm pretty convinced.
What do you say?
That's what Ben 10 is as well. Like Ben 10 is literally a toy show.
Well, it wasn't at first, but then it became capable of doing it. You know?
Yeah.
Because the people, the heroes had action, the men of action that wrote it, they've like ex-Marvel and DC and Image writers. Like, they can write stories, but eventually they changed Ben's design so many times that he looks like a Cabbage Patch person. It's insane. He looks so fucking different.
But yeah, like, I don't know. That was really the only, that and the fact that it ended in a way that I was just like, but like,
the fact that like the Miles that he met was better at Spanish. He had a more Spanish accent too, because he was raised by his mom solely. So that's why he sounds like that. And I was just like,
that's why he's evil.
Well, let's just saying, when you got rid of the black half, he had knives. He did have knives on his back. All I'm saying, he was a more evil version of himself without his dad, the black man in his life. Even though Aaron is his uncle, and it's a black influence, it's probably made him evil. All I'm saying is that
it's funny
when he's raised by a woman who's also Hispanic, he's worse.
And the thing that bummed me about it most though is that, like, because I looked into it and apparently they didn't even ask him. Like, they didn't even approach Christopher Daniel Barnes at all. About like, and it's like, I don't know, man, that's weird. Like, I don't need him to be like a central figure or anything. But like, you got Spider-Man 1967 in there. It's like, okay, he was in the last one, but like, I mean, I guess he can be in this again.
They had Riley.
You got fucking Ben Reilly. I'm like, Ben Reilly, like, okay.
Well, they had Ben Reilly because he was the edgy one. He was the edgy, like, angsty Spider-Man who was like way too jacked. Like, when he was choking Miles, I was like, why is he so jacked? Like, what? And it was
they
like,
had the fucking
the 90s.
doppelganger dude. They had the fucking doppelganger Spider-Man on Miguel O'Hara's team.
Yeah, the doppelganger.
Like, the fuck? You have doppelganger, you got spectacular Spider-Man, and you don't have the fucking Spider-Man that like introduced the concept of
he was in the
Spider-Verse.
He was in the movie. He didn't have any lines.
I swear, I've been looking all over
Chris,
for him, man, on the internet. I did not see him at all.
They show him for a moment. I saw him like, oh, that's 90s Spider-Man. He should have had a line though.
He should have said something, and it bothers me that like they didn't approach him because that means he's not in the next one either.
The Spot, like Mary Jane, like it's a one line.
It's sad to me that they didn't, like, because it would be cool to see, like, I don't know, maybe like he found Mary Jane, like, I don't know, anything, even just him saying something. Doesn't need to be like a fucking serious line. It could just be like, hey, watch it. Literally nothing, anything. But just the fact that he just was not mentioned at all is crazy. That's like a really important part of Spider-Man history, like that 90s animated series. That is the reason that I and a lot of people that I know even remotely started caring at all.
That's the one for our age group. That is our age group. Then the generation below us is obviously Spectacular. And then, now the age below them is Miles as Spider-Man. It's not really Peter anymore. It's more Miles Morales as Spider-Man now than Peter.
Yeah,
but it's just like I wish he was in it. I wish he was in it. I wish he said something, but he wasn't. It's unfortunate. It's like it's very.
I wouldn't knock points off the score or anything, but I'm just like at the same time I'm thinking like. It's kind of like one of those decisions where you watch like No Way Home and you're like, Peter and Norman don't interact once.
That's pretty crazy.
And it's weird. Like it doesn't necessarily have to happen, but it's more weird that either nobody thought of it or that people thought of it and decided not to.
Well, No Way Home.
Well, I think they did have a fight in the. There's like a deleted. There's like a behind the scenes photo of them fighting or something, which. I guess they cut. I don't know.
No Way Home was obviously not what it ended up being, though.
Yeah,
Like-
No Way Home's a
Like
mess,
No Way Home was
honestly.
supposed to be like another movie, and they were like, you know, or make people shut the fuck up. If we put these guys in there, and if people did, I mean, I like the movie still too. I just think that
Have you watched it again?
Huh? I haven't watched.
Have you watched it
since,
recently?
No.
Because I was the same way. Like when I got back from the theater, I was like, that was fucking fun. I had a really good time. Then I watched it again, and I was like, I feel that's one of those movies where like you watch it again, and you're like, man, this isn't the worst thing or anything, but like it's weird. Like that movie feels like a COVID movie.
Yeah.
100%. Like when you're watching it, you're like, fuck, this is definitely like they filmed this under duress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost. Where like they're using like footage from Spider-Man 3 and reversing it, and you're like, ooh. I know that exact shot.
With Sandman?
Yeah, with Sandman like fucking coming together, but like they did it backwards, so he's coming apart or whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
It's unfortunate.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
What's the next question?
What do we got? Cami vagina scented candles wrote in. Sorry, I was like vividly imagining that smell.
Yeah, like,
Hello, Los Negros Hermanos. What would be better? Cami sitting on your face or Chun-Li choking you out with her thighs?
damn. That just sounds like a great death either way.
This is a Coomer question.
I don't know. I would say Chun.
I'm gonna go with the other one.
I'll go with Chun.
I'm gonna go with the other one because diversity.
Diversity.
You know, we get a good. We cover all the bases.
Someone was.
We gotta
chosen.
have a. Yeah, we gotta have Derek in to be the.
He would just
the
say Armika's
tiebreaker.
tits smothering him,
Yeah, fair.
which is not a bad way
There
to
you
go
go.
either.
The athletic cup that all the Spider-Men share. Wrote in. Says, hey guys, big fan. First time asking a question here. If everyone on Earth came at the exact same time, what do you think the environmental effects would be? I personally think it would be like the Great Flood from the Bible, but worse. But worse.
There's no way we're gonna. If everybody came at the same time, that'd be one, insane, but two,
If 7 billion people, 8 billion
that's
people now,
not
I think,
enough
right?
to make
Are we at
a
8 billion?
flood.
Are we at 8 billion?
We're not. I think we're no.
I think we're at 8 billion. World population. 2023.
COVID took a lot of people, man. We're not there anymore.
That is true.
We lost some pretty big numbers, man.
The population.
It's plateauing, which is crazy. Isn't that nuts?
What is this
No,
real?
it's actually going down.
That's
It's
nuts.
actually going down.
We've reached our max. We've reached our fucking level cap.
What, the population growth?
Yeah.
Well, it's because people are getting old. A lot of old people are dying. Because remember how many
That's
people
pretty
remember how many
crazy,
people were
though.
born in that fucking era? The what are they called again?
Yeah, but old people have been dying like crazy.
Yeah, but what's the name of that era of babies? The
Baby boomer?
the boomers. Yeah, there was a lot of people born in that era, and they're just falling like flies now.
I
Plus, people don't
guess.
have kids anymore, man.
That's true.
Only one of our friends have. People don't have kids anymore. There are more homosexual relationships,
Yeah,
which
I mean,
inherently
people don't
affect
have
the birth rate.
If only having kids wasn't so cripplingly expensive and bankrupting.
It's
of
hey, man.
experience.
It's
I saw this thing.
It went down by 1% since
I saw
1% since 2021, and it's projected to go down 5% the 10 years after that.
Crazy. You know what I saw? You know what I saw super recently?
What?
I saw this presentation about the Great Depression and just and like how today compares. If you use an inflation calculator to kind of like figure out how much people were making, like the average person during the Great Depression.
Don't tell me this.
If you use the inflation calculator to translate it into today's money, the average single individual in the United States at the height of the Great Depression in like 1930 was making $88,000
Don't tell
in
me
today's
this.
money. Isn't that fucking crazy?
It's very sad. I know. Don't tell me
That
this.
is so wild.
That's crazy.
Because today I think the average income is like 40,000, if that. So it's like less than half of its fictional value.
Don't tell me that, man.
God damn,
that's so
man.
depressing.
It's really it's great depressing.
It's
what the fuck
depressing.
it is. It's great depressing. We've been in a Great Depression for fucking ever. That's nuts. Anyway,
That's sad. I'm so depressed. Let's get
It's
another
okay.
question before I cry.
I thought I'd educate. But yeah, we never answered the. It's not going to be a flood, man. It's just 8 billion people coming.
You can probably fill up a house.
You felt like how much does it like? Was it like maybe like a shot? Is your average?
But sometimes you get the ropey ones though. Get your ropies, you know.
Sometimes you get a little ropey one.
Speaking of cum, there's this picture of a strawberry shortcake with cum on the top of it. I just clicked on Twitter, and it's a guy said I passed out 3 times, but I finished your birthday cake. The whole top
crazy.
is just cum.
That's fucking sickening.
The idea of coming so much you pass out is so barbaric to me. That is just that is just someone that does not understand how to take care of themselves. Just keeping it going until they fall asleep. Then they wake back up. That is
genuinely
and they do it
just. That is just barbarism.
That's an animal. You're a beast.
That's just pure animalistic. That's sickening. Actually,
you're a beast. You're not a person.
You're a beast.
You're not a guy.
Yeah, I do think I do think if everybody timed it at the same time, I think it'd be funny. But then even that time is relative. I don't even think that's possible.
If everybody came hard all at once,
yeah,
the whole
you'd probably get some air displacement.
There'd probably be
it's like the butterfly effect, where like if everybody came once, then like there's gonna be a hurricane.
You displace so much random matter that it would be a fucking tsunami.
Yeah.
That's so
I love FOV
silly.
Sliders wrote it. He says, "Hey fellers, Ubisoft actually brought some heat with Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar. Do you think this is the start of a new good Ubisoft or shitty games presented really well?"
The second.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're a Star Wars guy.
Outlaws seems boring.
Yeah,
seems boring. Like I don't know. Like it might be cool. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be cool because we could see. You know, they could be surprised very much so when the game comes out. And it's extremely fun, really cool gameplay. So that's very possible. But I just don't have faith that Star Wars. I don't have faith that that Ubisoft knows what they're doing. Really, they did pretty good with Fallen Order and stuff like that. But
was it Ubisoft?
Yeah.
No, EA.
EA did them. Oh, really?
Yeah, EA did Fallen Order.
And Survivor's a fun game.
EA did Fallen Order, Survivor, and Squadrons. I think that space fighter one. Yeah, Ubisoft is just like I don't know. I don't have any faith in them to really do anything correctly. As mean as that sounds, I don't know.
I can't believe
in them. What I saw from it, like, because as somebody who's not into Star Wars, I just like that it looked generic as hell to me. Like I didn't care about what I was seeing. I wasn't all that into any aspect of it. Like I know that people are like, "Ooh, Mo, dude, it's like an open world. It's the first open world Star Wars game," and it's like that's cool, but I mean, dude, I don't know. You got Starfield on the horizon that's doing a lot with the open world. You got Tears of the Kingdom that just came out that's fucking doing a lot with open world on a Switch. And so when I see like, oh, Star Wars open world, and it's just, third person shooter, you get on a bike, you drive to a fucking deli, and then you talk to a person. Like I don't see much personally.
You try to go to a bodega, you get something at the bodega.
Go to a bodega, get shot.
You get shot at twice. You cry a little bit. You get a
and that Avatar game. I mean, it looks pretty, but it also looks like Far Cry, dude. Like it's literally just Far Cry Avatar, which is fine, I guess. I heard. I don't know.
Who cares? I've never cared about an Avatar game.
Who the fuck cares about Avatar, man?
I've never cared about Avatar.
Like people were weirdly high on that show. Like people were like after the Ubisoft showcase, people were like, "Dude, that was actually really good." And I'm like, I guess. I didn't see a fucking single thing that interested me personally. Like
it just looks boring.
Yeah,
just boring.
Just
No
boring.
offense, but it looks kind of boring.
It looks a little boring. Maddie wrote in, says, "Hey Snark, what advice would you give to someone turning 20? Turning 20. So you're 19, turning 20. You're about to be a 20-year-old. Man, I don't even remember.
Let's see. There's so much more to learn. There's so much more to figure out about life, you know? Like, I'm almost 30 now, and I still don't even get all of it. But I understand that I thought I got a lot more than I did as a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I would say
there's a lot more life to live. You should do things. You should not be lounging around wasting time, but also understand that you have a lot of time left to figure out who you're going to become. Like, don't rush that. Just enjoy your time.
Yeah.
Take your steps.
Yeah, enjoy the time you got. Don't fucking stress yourself out. You've got time. Live it up, because that's probably it's the most. That time in your life is probably the most you'll ever be able to do that, really.
Just have fun.
To have fun with, like, very, very limited consequences in comparison. And also you'll have just, like, your body is just equipped to handle that still, because you're still evolving out of kid form. And kids, like, you could hit a kid with a bus and they'd be fine. You know, like you're in that realm. Whereas, like, now I'm 29, and I was running around at this graduation with, like, my niece and her little sisters and their cousins, and they were, like, asking me to, hey, let us chase you. And I was like, all right. And I was, like, sprinting around, and I was like, dude, this hurts way, way more than I remember this hurting. Like, just doing simple shit like that. So live it up. Don't be too stupid, but, like, don't be too much of a stickler either. And just,
be safe. That's
enjoy
it.
it.
Be safe.
Enjoy it.
But other than that, have fun. Enjoy yourself. There's a ton of life for you to live, but there's also a ton of time for you to live that life. Also,
meet a lot of people if you can. There's a lot of interesting fucking people out there, especially at that point where it's like, if you meet people when they're 20, you get to and they're good people, and you stay around and you know them when you're 30, you get to talk to them about how cringe they were.
Thanks.
Which is it's like a very, very satisfying.
Thanks, dude.
It's very satisfying.
I appreciate that. Is that why you just kept your friends around? Is that we're all around still?
Yeah,
Remember how fucking lame you were when you were young?
Remember how fucking dumb and stupid you were when you liked that stupid album? Fucking bitch.
Remember when you made the album Your Personality? It's like, yeah, I do. You fucking loser. Fucking loser, you idiot. You're dumb. I should eat you.
When you made that album Your Personality. God damn.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't had an album that was like their personality when they were young? It happens.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles soundtrack. Richard Suckinski, but my friends call me Dick Suckin. God Christ. Hello, Kingston, Derek, and the foot fetishist. Listen.
You said that shit out loud, bro.
I didn't say anything. What I said was,
bro.
I understood. Like, if there's any, look, I'm not saying that I'm a foot guy. I specifically said the opposite.
You said that shit out loud, bro. I just want you to understand.
I said that Jury from Street Fighter, like, I saw it and I was like, I get it. I got it for a second.
You're a fucking creep.
That's all I'm saying.
You're a fucking creep.
What the fuck?
You're in the feet. You just made you're in the feet. It's fine.
I didn't say that. Like, I'm not into furries.
You're in the feet. It's cool.
I'm not. Look, listen. Let me ask you a question.
It's fine.
Let me ask you a question.
It's fine.
Has there ever been an androgynous animal in a cartoon that you thought was kind of attractive?
No.
Ever?
No, they're animals.
No? Lola Bunny?
No.
Really?
That was a rabbit. I was like, that's a rabbit.
Yes, exactly.
That's.
And you're like, oh, weird.
I thought Jessica Rabbit was hot. That's a person.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a person. It's still a drawing.
I mean, it's a drawing. Okay. What are you? That's a drawing.
What I'm
of
saying
a
is
person.
that what I'm saying is that there's a difference between, like, a glazing and, like, a submerging. You know, where it's like I look at Jury and I'm like, okay, I understand why there are feet people. However, I'm still not one of them because it doesn't fundamentally makes sense to me.
You're fucking...
Lola Bunny is a similar thing where it's like, if you're fucking 7, dude, if you're 7 and you've never even thought about fucking like the female body once, and then suddenly that's in front of you in fucking Space Jam, you're like, I fucking get why that would be like a weird like awakening, but like that's not a furry. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, Lola Bunny was attractive to me at some point, that's not a furry. Furry is you're going in the middle of fucking little Tokyo in like 90-degree weather, dressed in a fucking gimp suit, coming buckets. That's a furry.
Coming buckets.
So I just want to make the distinction. Okay?
Nah, you're weird, bro.
I'm not a foot guy.
You are, bro. It's fine.
I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a pussy guy is what I
I'm
am.
a pussy. I like pussy.
I'm a pussy.
I'm a pussy guy. I like pussy.
Anyway. Fucking this. I'm not going to even dignify this fucking guy.
It's fine, dude. Why are you so upset?
No. Do any of y'all have any brands you feel a sense of loyalty towards? Personally, I have a thing for SteelSeries gear because it's technically gaming gear that doesn't lean too much into edgy gamer aesthetic. Yeah, is that SteelSeries? Is that the
Those are the mics and shit.
SteelSeries? Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the aesthetic.
They're like dark blue.
Oh yeah, they just look like normal. They're not like RGB and like Razer and all that. Yeah. I don't know. I guess for a long time it was Snapple, unironically. Like for a long time, dude, I
you
love
don't drink Snapple anymore. That's crazy.
No. I have because they stopped doing the glass. And that was like the second they stopped doing the glass, it was just like, wow, this tastes terrible. I remember people would fucking think I was insane when I brought that up, and then like I had Sweeney try it. I had all these people try it, and they were like, "Yep, you're right." And I still on my desk, on this desk, I have a glass, unopened, tea, waiting, just sitting here. I don't know if this is probably worth nothing, but I like that. I just want to know that I can have it. And before I die, I'm going to crack this bitch up. I'm going to crack it open. It's probably going to be spoiled rotten. I don't know how tea works exactly.
It's probably going to be dust in a bottle.
Yeah, it'll probably be dust in a bottle. But I'll be able to hit the bottom. Ooh. And then pop it open one last time. And then I'll pass out. I'll die. I'll go to the great beyond.
Wow. Okay.
But like the second they got these going, like fucking,
they don't taste as good. They don't.
They're fucking horrible. They suck. I'm an Arizona guy now. I mean, I always was. Like I would always alternate between them, but like, you know, Snapple just dropped the ball real fucking hard.
The Mucho Mango, man. I'm so addicted to that drink. It's crazy.
Mucho Mango what?
The Arizona's.
I've never had the Mucho Mango Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
You had the kiwi strawberry ones?
I didn't like the kiwi strawberry ones. That was the only one I ever tried. Again, it was like the kiwi strawberry and the Arnold Palmer, and I was like, I don't like these as much as lemon. I'm just gonna stick with lemon.
The best ones are the Grape Aid and the Mucho Mango for me, man. Oh, bro, those
Grape Aid Arizona.
Grape Aid, yeah.
Do you remember Arizona had like the juice boxes?
Yeah.
I brought that up recently to somebody, and they were like, they didn't have juice boxes. And I was like, what do you mean?
How old were they?
Like, you never had those? They were like a staple at like a lot of like barbecues that I would go to. Like they would always be like in the cooler, and people would have them.
The thing is that you know what's crazy at like white folks barbecue, they have like salads and shit. Then you go to like a Latino or a black one, and it's like chips. It's like chips. Yeah. It's like the food on the grill and then chips, and then a bunch of juices, and then like the waters that no one's touching. That's like near my uncles that are just drinking their asses off. Cause like by the time everybody's getting their second servings, when all the adults start drinking, and it's just like the kids playing on one corner, and then the drunk adults, like the drunkest shit adults, like maybe like 3 feet away, just laughing about some bullshit. And then like there'd be me like, Grandma, can we go home? Our grandma's like, not yet. We got to stay for at least an hour and a half. I'm like, Grandma, please. She's like, no. Go hang out with your cousins.
Grandma, por favor.
Please, Grandma.
Please.
I don't want to talk to these kids no more. They're all weird looking, Grandma.
Anyway,
they look like sad dogs, Grandma. I don't want to.
Is there like a brand you have loyalty to? Do you feel like, or like at least like a nostalgic reverence for, or like
I always get. It used to be Nintendo, I guess.
It used to be.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with Nintendo that much anymore.
Nothing like clothes wise. You don't have like an
Of course,
apparel or like.
Nikes. Like I'm like a fucking Nike person. Like I always have Nike shoes. They're like the footwear I choose, if anything. But what sucks is that unfortunately means I wear like size 15, which is just the size outside like what they carry in stores. But if you have big feet, you usually have size 15 feet. So it's hard for me to get shoes with them without ordering them online. So it sucks a ton.
Yeah, for me, clothing wise, I remember there was this clothing. I don't know if they're around anymore. They used to. They had a pair of shoes from them that I really liked. It was like Rock and Republic. And I don't know if they were around.
Do you remember
anymore.
Jimmy Jazz from New York?
Wait,
That's Jimmy Jazz stores
Jazz?
Or like cookies.
Jimmy Jazz. Oh my God, I do remember
I used to
these.
get my sneakers from Jimmy Jazz every like beginning of the school year. I'd go to Jimmy Jazz and get a new pair of shoes. And my grandma was like, "Okay, Kingston, pick one pair." And I'm like, "Ah!" And I run off into like the sneaker store. And I'm like, "I want these ones. They're blue." It'd be this. I got the same pair of sneakers like 4 times.
You're insane.
Until I realized like, oh, this is not a style anymore. Get like real sneakers. And I got sneakers and I was like, "These are cool, right?" And she was like, "I guess." Do you remember Cookies where you get your uniforms from? You used to go to Cookies and get your uniform. I fucking hated Cookies. I hated that
Dude,
place.
I didn't know how to dress myself really until like 7th grade.
For me, yeah, like 7th, 8th, well, like 6th, 7th grade is when I understood like I wanted to wear what I wanted to wear, you know? But it still looked
7th
horrible.
grade, dude, 7th grade was when I was starting to be like, oh, I guess I'll start to choose, because I went to Catholic school up until like from like kindergarten through 6th. And so like we just had a uniform. We just had like the slacks and the fucking polo. And that was it. I never had to think about it. And so like on the weekends I would just wear like sweatpants and like some ill-fitting t-shirt, and that was it. And then like the second I moved to like
t-shirt that every kid used to wear, that like
100%, like it made no sense.
One of your parents, this is clearly one of your parents your days gave to you. And you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
it was
like an adult medium. And I would I didn't have fucking anything, or just like I would get clothes from like that had no rhyme or reason. Things like I remember I had a shirt that said Arizona Guard Dog on it, and it was just a snake. And I was like, what brand is this? Like, who made this? Like, I had like I had like Spider-Man shirts. I had a lot of those, but those are the ones that fit me. Those are the only ones. So like when I started going to high school or like junior high, they were like, I was in public school, and then they were like, hey, you got to start knowing what to wear. And so like, I had to like, I bought jeans, and I was wearing jeans, and I was like, why the fuck do people wear jeans? I remember specifically vividly feeling like jeans were the most uncomfortable clothes that I had ever, because I had only been wearing slacks and sweatpants for like ages.
That's so
which are like
funny.
And those are like the most comfortable. Like I know like suits get a bad rap for being uncomfortable, but like suit pants are really nice.
Yeah, if you size them right, they're very comfortable things.
I like suit pants are really fucking comfortable. Sweatpants are like the definition of comfort. So like the second I wore jeans, I was like, people wear this? I felt like I was wearing sandpaper or like wood.
Jeans suck because as soon as you're active with them, you got to peel them off, and it sucks. It's either they're very baggy and they're not comfortable to wear, or they're fit, but you have to like peel them off whenever you get any form of sweaty, and that shit sucks.
Fucking I don't know,
bro. Fucking.
But it was Rock and Republic and Calvin Klein. I love Calvin Klein jackets. I love them.
Calvin Klein's.
I don't really buy them.
For me, their underwear is so fun. Calvin Klein underwear is top of the notch, man. Whenever I buy boxer briefs, man, top of the notch boxer briefs.
I actually don't have any Calvin Klein underwear now that I think about it.
They are my favorites,
I only have
dude.
I have a favorite, but I don't want to say it because they're. Well, no, because it's like an influencer. It's like a sponsor that they're not paying.
They're not
for the endorsement.
Me.
But they make really good. Like I like what they do. But Calvin Klein is like I get a new Calvin Klein jacket once every like couple of years because it's like a little treat.
They're good, man.
But what sucks though is that like there used to be a Calvin Klein store in the Galleria, or not in the Galleria, in the Americana in Glendale, and I would go, but now it's gone. I think it's like a fucking Tesla or something now.
I feel yeah, that makes sense.
So now I just don't know where to get them. Anyway, that'll be what time is it? How much?
We're at like 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
We'll probably end it here.
We'll start. Yeah, we'll end it here. Derek abandoned us as usual.
Just like my dad.
Yeah. So we're gonna read the names now. Count me down.
All right, 3, 2.
You better fucking
1.
Caucasian container, the Cracker Barrel for gays. The UNSC Pillar of Autism. Tin Foil Tyrant, the athletic cup that all the Spider-Men share. Putting blackface on my light bulbs. Chris's singular sperm that gapes his urethra every time he comes. I vomit on myself to become a portable slip and slide. Tom Sweeney, but instead of a Reagan supporter, he's a PragerU host.
Hey.
Florida felon femboy on death row.
Why does this
Doc
version
Jenkins
of me
and the
excite
Tism
them?
Schism. My son just turned 3, so I've been wondering how young is too young to start calling him the soft A. Listen.
Just don't call your kid that.
Just don't do that at all. I would say.
Like, don't call him that. Come on.
She Pipkin on my Pippa. Possum, yes, that's my real name. Nikki Ziggy. Or Niggy Zicky?
It's Niggy Ziggy
Okay.
and Nicky Ziggy.
Yeah. Piss Bed. Damo Nation. Average Clit Energy. Jared from Subway has a cameo in Sharknado 2. Star Coffee. Sweet and Ray Gun for President. Sween and Ray Gun for President 2024. Damn, I nutted in a man from Kanye West's hit song Very Gay Am I.
Damn, I nutted. That's such a fucking intense fucking line. Damn, I came in a dude. I'm really gay, aren't I?
Alas. I'm white, but my dad left. Do I get a pass now? Now suing Sween because apparently the pass isn't valid in Brooklyn. Transfemme Gremlin. Can Logan Paul abandon a million pigs? My sexual awakening was the quirky goth girl from NCIS, and now my taste in women is ruined. I don't know why this just came to me, but I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you on TikTok. I don't want to forget. And I know I will forget. I'm sorry. I have to do this.
I have to do this.
I've got to do it.
You don't get
There
it.
you go. I just sent it to you. I think you'll appreciate it. I sent it to you on the app itself.
What is it? My phone has been on fucking silence. I'm working.
Can Logan Paul abandon a million pigs? My sexual awakening was a quirky goth from NCIS, and now my taste in women is ruined. Yush Asker, the angelic dungeon master, who would like to congratulate you for saving the microwave baby by shoving the horse off the bridge. Psy, Gangnam Style, claims we are not unarmed. Korea, get a bomb. U.S. could become a target. You know what I'm saying? More at 11. Craig, the Canadian. It's your boy, Shawnee D. NAAICP. AI, I see. Matt Walsh is a hero of our time. Sweet Baby Gang for life. Indie Butterknife on YouTube. Gay Weezer be like, what's with these homos fucking my boy? Why do they gotta suck? A straight needle in a gay sack. You right there?
I saw it.
Yeah, you appreciate it?
I saw it. I can't. Oh God.
It's
I'm trying not to
something.
laugh, but my body's having a reaction.
Your body, it's funny. It's a funny video. 3XO finding out that Chris Chan's Sonichu necklace works the same way as Dory's hammer. Slurp and stroke and smoke and joking. Emoticons going like this. Morning Owlet, Sheeny Tai, Drip MH, Lord of Drip. Nancy Pelosi killing a Palestinian with her massive tits. Obi-Wan should blow me. Sween, you have something between your teeth. Kremlin to Gremlin. Guy, Abby, something funny and topical. Gay, System of a Down. Aerials be like, man, asshole so damn tight. When you thrust inside, you see the light. Wage Slay 583, do you ever think come resurrection? I feel gay, fuck you. The Papini Brothers Emporium presents the latest in cuck technology, Sneakovision. Good fight, Chris. Spaceballs, the patron. I have money again, so I'm back to make Chris do ooh-woo speak again. P.S. I still have syphilis.
Syphilis.
God damn it.
I
love that you phonetically spelled it out that way. I appreciate that. Tell him Steve Dave. Limp Biscuits and Gravy. John Strickland, Tim Pool's Pedo Bear Skate Park featuring the Church of the Daily Wire. Merck's 1889. Nathaniel Buster Cherry. The first Church of Keith David featuring Liquid Sween and his dying love for the gays. But all my exes live in Texas, but that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Pre-Roz. Blake 896. Cami vagina scented candles, 9/11 themed baby shower (parentheses that's twins), Alaskan oil
That's
field
funny
trash,
as fuck.
Sue Hulk tickle my ass hairs, Nikki Ziggy, Dom shooting Marie in the head while autistically screaming I am a brain surgeon, lobotomized Jesus, can't wait to lick on Hulk Hogan's slop wet fat fucking pussy like a dog in a water bowl, the sounds of mommy and daddy fighting downstairs drowned out by Sweeney and Derek's slang argument, every time I come it sounds like Squidward walking, Jackson DuPont, badly brave hugger Derek, normal McPerson, your new roadmate, Aetherian Progerian Hunter, Melphis 1, heir to the throne of Haphazard, and king of Haphazard, rounding out our list. Thank you so much. I often wonder about, like, because surely some of these people who are patrons of ours are patrons of other people because they're active on Patreon enough to subscribe. So, like, I think about, like, are these names just in other people's, like, content? Like, is there, like, a big credits thing somewhere with like some of these names in them with no context as to why they exist or why they are the way they are?
That's pretty fucking funny. That's really funny.
Alas.
Alaskan oil field trash, man.
Yeah, sure. All right. I'm going to go eat.
I'm going to go, I don't know, to get ready to play Digimon for the next 5 hours of my day.
Nice.
Remember, don't die, anybody. Don't die.
Don't die. Don't let yourself die. We won't help you. In fact, we'll kill you.